July 1 offers all of that. It's for many organizations and institutions, it's the start of a brand new fiscal year. Academic institutions, hospitals, other kinds of nonprofit organizations. And so, even governmental agencies, it's a brand new year. And we need to start fresh, start strong, stay strong. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tim Alston, and welcome, family, to the 10 Commandments of Leadership. The 10 Commandments of Leadership. This is where we do several things each day, at least two things in particular. This is where we educate, equip, and empower emerging leaders with God thought leadership. You've heard me say it before, leadership is not based upon title or position. But true leadership is based on two other ingredients, two other essentials, and that is influence and relationships. Influence and relationships. So if you have influence over persons, whether it's in your family, your informal group, in your workplace, or your worship place, you are a leader. And in that influence, out of that grow relationships. You're a leader. So this is for you. And the second thing that we seek to do is we always want to present current events and newsmakers in the light of best practices from the Bible. In the light of best practices from the Bible. Current events are filled with nuances and filled with challenges that have a direct linkage to activities that have occurred in the Bible that our job on this show is to bring them to light. And today is no exception. What is the current event? The current event is July 1. It is the start, as I said earlier, of the new fiscal year. It is the start of the new quarter and the start of the new month. And therefore, it bodes well in terms of excitement. Again, my name is Tim Alston. I am your host. I'm a leadership strategist. I'm also a 4-time Amazon best-selling author, and I'm also a recovering egoholic. And I'm the messenger for this egoholism recovering movement. As I said, today is Tuesday, July 1st, 2025, a new fiscal year, a new calendar quarter, and a new chance for transformation. So let me ask you this. In this new fiscal year, will you pray for an easier year, or will you pray to become a stronger leader? So let's begin with this charge from Paul, the Apostle Paul, to the Corinthians. And he said to them, be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong. That's taken from 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong. 1 Corinthians 16:13. Now, this is not a passive suggestion. It's a call to arms, a spiritual and emotional commandment for leaders facing uncertainties. As leaders, especially as emerging leaders and as recovering egoholics, we don't have the luxury of shrinking back when things get hard. That's not our lot. This new fiscal year, like a new mountain trail, offers new challenges, new twists, and uphill climbs. But the Apostle Paul reminds us, be strong, stand firm, don't back down. Why? Because strength, hear me now, strength is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to move forward in faith, even while we're afraid. I once heard this quote, and it stayed with me ever since. It comes from a lady named Dorothy Bernard. Courage is fear that said its prayers. Courage is fear that said its prayers. What a powerful reframing. Courage isn't some noisy, chest-pounding, chest-thumping display. Courage is quiet. It's trembling. It's prayerful. And in this new season, both for you and me, and perhaps for you, certainly for me, I'm not short on fear. No, no, no. But I'm also not short on faith. I'll tell you what I mean. Yesterday, I received a phone call that left me stunned. Javen Cornelius, who's my podcasting coach and the founder of Shoeshine Media, called me with a sponsorship offer that I cannot refuse. In time, I'll unpack it for you. My response? I am overwhelmed. I'm grateful. and if I must be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. This is the fulfillment of what we have been building with this podcast ministry, slowly, steadily, and by God's grace. But the leap is real and the pressure is real. And so is the temptation to shrink back and say, I'm not ready. But then I remember, courage is fear that said its prayers. Courage is fear that said its prayers. So I say my prayers and I'm moving forward anyway. Let me read you this excerpt from Streams in the Desert, the devotional book I read, the July 1 devotional. It said, we must remember that Christ will not lead us to greatness through an easy or self-indulgent life. An easy life does not lift us up, but only takes us down. Heaven is always above us, and we must continually be looking forward to it, that which is above us. Now, some people always try to avoid things that are costly, but true greatness, it is found in the grit of things that are costly. The resistance, the self-sacrifice. This reminded me of something that I've come to call the moss-covered path myth. The moss-colored path myth. And what is that? Too many emerging leaders are waiting for a meadow, soft ground, easy walking, no hills. But the real leaders, they're the ones who carve a new path with their own hands. They're the ones who make trails, not necessarily follow them. My new fiscal year's resolution, I'm asking God to multiply my 5 loaves. As we start this new quarter, this new season, I'm reminded of the boy in that gospel story. He didn't have much, just 5 loaves and 2 fish. But when he gave them to Jesus, look what happened. The Bible narrative tells us that it multiplied, or I should say Jesus multiplied it, and it fed 5,000 men, plus women and children. So arguably it could then have fed some 20 to 25,000 people. That's me right now. And maybe that's you. You might not feel like you have enough. You might feel overwhelmed, but don't underestimate what God can do with what you do have. God has given me 5 loaves, my podcast, my books, my egoholism recovering message, my voice, and my testimony. So I'm lifting those 5 loaves up. I'm giving them back to him every day, every hour. And I'm trusting him to multiply it for his glory because he's a jealous God. That's how we build leadership. That's how we build legacy. So let me close today's message with this timeless poem by Malt B. Babcock. Malt B. Babcock says, be strong. We are not here to play, to dream, to drift. We have hard work to do and loads to lift. Shun not the struggle, face it. It's God's gift. Be strong. Say not the days are evil, who's to blame, or fold your hands as in defeat. Oh, what shame. Stand up, speak out, and bravely in God's name. Be strong. It matters not how deep entrenched the wrong, how hard the battle goes, the day how long, faint not, fight on. Tomorrow comes the song. So as you and I launch into this new fiscal year, this new quarter, this new month, be strong, be courageous. And when you're afraid, say your prayers and lead anyway. Remember, courage is fear that said its prayers. Today, I'm stepping forward in this new offer that I can't refuse. In my role as a leadership strategist and messenger, I'm moving into unknown territory. And I'm asking you to do the same. Why? Because the world doesn't need more perfect leaders. It doesn't have any. It needs more honest, prayerful, courageous ones. Let's make this year the start of something miraculous. Not because the work is easy, because it ain't, but because God is with us. This has been the 10 Commandments of Leadership. If this message has blessed you, share it with someone who needs a little bit of courage this afternoon. And they will be blessed, and so will you. And remember, I've said it before, courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. Courage means your fear knows how to pray. Until next time, keep leading from humility, keep recovering from your egoholism, and keep trusting the God who turns your loaves into legacy. I hope you've been inspired. I've been inspired by sharing this with you. I could not keep this to myself. It would have burned a hole in me. Thank you for sharing with me. Let's go together. Let's grow together. As I say in my morning devotional to my devotional group, read and then heed and then proceed to succeed. See you tomorrow. Thank you.